do you know if it is intuition or fear? That is a question that I often hear. And actually, you'll be quite surprised, my love, but the answer is so much more simpler than it seems. So let's dive in today's episode and we will talk about how to differentiate both. So let's start with where is this confusion coming from? Is this your intuition? Is it fear? Are you just an anxious person? Which one is it? Because I often hear, especially from my girlies, like you probably went through that too, where you don't really know, oh my God. And then sometimes it really hurts me so bad because I keep hearing girlies say, I am not an intuitive person. I don't have an inner voice. We all have it. We all have intuition, especially you. Yes, you do. Everyone does. It's just about really reprogramming and kind of like paying attention because a lot of times you're stuck in loops and you don't really realize that's what's blocking you. So let's talk about it. This is going to help you feel more grounded and connected to your inner voice, okay? So what does intuition feel like? The hell is that glory thing that everyone keeps talking about, that glorious intuition? Well, first thing you should know is intuition feels really calm. It feels calm, it feels clear, and a very quiet. It's often a quiet knowing. Like it's just quiet. It's very subtle, right? It's neutral in tone. It's not dramatic. Definitely doesn't have that panicky vibe. It feels very zen, um, and it often feels like the truth in your body. So, that gut feeling. You know that. When you're walking at night and then you see that dark alley and you know you shouldn't go there because it doesn't feel safe. You can't explain it, or you can probably explain that it's dark, therefore it's not safe. But I mean, that gut feeling that it's in your belly, you don't know, you can't explain that belly feeling, but you just know it. Every woman knows that feeling. You know what I mean? So, and the same way you can just look at another girlie and be like, don't go there. And we know it's like we don't need to talk, and it's just we're connected. This is all intuition, okay? That gut feeling. Sometimes you'd feel it in your heart. You know, it's just that you just have that feeling of that groundedness, that home feeling in your heart, and it's just stillness, right? Now, that's what intuition feels like. Now, on the opposite, let's talk about what fear feels like. Fear on the opposite spectrum feels very urgent. It feels loud, super anxious thoughts. Now, there's a big difference. I just said how intuition was calm, and fear is very loud. It's overthinking. Anxious thoughts. There's like a certain pressure attached to that. The vibe is very, very different. It's often rooted in past trauma. So let's say, you grew up in an environment where, there was like your parents used to fight. Then you might, then you start fighting in your relationship, then you automatic there's like a certain trauma that is reactivated. It's rooted in past trauma. That's all based on fear. That's not intuition, that is your fear, right? Because you can get caught up into what ifs. Or let's say, when you start worrying about losing your job, or let's say you looking for a job, you can't find a job, or you trying to do like that entrepreneurship, and go with your business, but you worried about what if, how am I going to pay my bills, what if I can't pay my bills, what if I can't pay rent, what if. Even just saying that, we can already feel the pressure and the anxiety. It definitely is not the same at all as that calm energy that was emanating when I was talking about intuition, right? It's two different energies. So that is often how you can tell the difference, right? And fear also feels like a lot of overthinking. It's coming from lack. If you really, really go dive deep in, it's like spirals, thought pattern. One thought leads to another, and then that overthinking, and your ego just can't stop thinking and catastrophizing. Worst case scenarios. Oh my God, if this happened, and this is gonna happen, and next thing you know, you're thinking about like you're gonna be homeless if your business doesn't pick up, and then it's just like it just this is all you can feel that heaviness. It's a different energy. So when even just explaining what intuition feels like versus what fear feels like, you can already feel the very, very distinctive difference between them, right? Intuition is very grounded, it gives you direction, very subtle. You have to be calm to listen. That's why we can often miss it because it's very subtle. It's calm energy. It's not gonna like it's calm. It's you have to be subtle to hear it. Fear on the other side is scattered. It gives you confusion. Ever like when you overthinking like that, you never really gain clarity from that. It makes you feel even more exhausted and even more confused, right? So intuition expands you, whereas fear contracts you. If you really pay attention to your body, how you feeling when you going through like when you get like an intuitive hit, you know, versus when you feel like when you in fear, it's two different things. One is just feel safe, it makes you feel like grounded, expanded, and the other one is the total opposite, makes you feel like really contracted, like you scared and you just you need to protect yourself. So intuition also feels like alignment, like you align, like, oh, it's zen. Fear often feels like pressure, okay? So tips to discern the difference in real time, because I think this is where the real challenge is coming from, is when it's happening in real time. So when it happens in real time, sit with it in silence, right? And ask yourself, does this feeling grow louder or quieter? You'll often get your answer there. You can also ask, is this love or fear? I love asking that question. I feel like that question exposes it every single time. Am I coming out of a place of love or fear? Is this coming out of a place of love or fear? It will really expose it right in your face. It's going to be so clear to know if that's intuition or that's fear at the end of the day. Check in with your body. Check in with your body. Does it feel expanded or you feel tension? Okay, so check in with your body. Our body is a very intuitive and very intelligent vessel. We just have forgotten the art of understanding it because it takes time to learn to understand your body's language. And in today's world, we're so disconnected with our body. But the good news is that you can rebuild that connection and that relationship. So, really check in with your body, feel, because a lot of time the problem is we are on autopilot. Ask yourself, how do I feel? Do I feel expanded? Do I feel contracted? Is there expansion as in, does this feel relaxing? My muscles are relaxing. Or is there tension as in, oh my God, my muscles are contracting because it's fear? You know, when a cat is outside and it's just like ready to attack, versus when it's chilling. It's two different things. It's very obvious. You can't confuse them. When a cat is ready to attack, there's a freeze mode, and you could tell like you could feel the tension, all the muscles are contracted. Versus when the cat is relaxed and is just walking on its beautiful catwalk and it's just like unbuttered and you can feel the energy is different. It's the same thing for us in our body. Another thing you can do is journal it out. So, intuition often reveals itself on the page, and then you journal, you write it down, and you reread. Often we forget to reread what we journal, but I think this is also a major important part of the practice. And also, time test. The thing is, fear fades with time, but intuition is really consistent. It's like a consistent, trustworthy compass, a map that you can just always fall back on. Okay. Whereas fear is so erratic that it's just, it dissipates very quickly and quickly gets replaced by another erratic fear. Okay. So really find ways to ground yourself more in that intuition emotion, that softness, that expansion feeling, because that is a great indicator that you're connecting to intuition here. So, what to do when you still not sure? If you're still not sure, it's often because you need more time to practice the tips that we talked about today. But whatever you do, don't rush it. Don't rush it, my love. The funny thing is, the amazing thing I must say is clarity, just give it space. Okay, clarity actually will get even louder. The more space, the more air you give it to breathe out. Just give it space, don't rush it. And that can be a great indicator because fear often always wants you to rush because you often coming from lack. But don't rush it. Okay? Take one small aligned step at a time, not a leap. So one step, one tiny step, bit by bit, and before you know it, you'll be like looking back and be like, "Oh my God, this happened." Okay, so trust that clarity builds through action, not overthinking. If you are someone who's anxious, my love, it's all you can definitely practice this. And also, I think it removes some of the pressure. It's not like something that you have to get right from the get go. And if you don't have it right from the first try, you're a failure. There is no such thing. It's all about building. It's like a muscle that you're building at the gym. You keep showing up every day. Often it feels like I went to the gym this morning, right? It was leg day. And when I come out, I'm like, oh, it's like we don't get the results as quick as we want. But tomorrow morning when I'm gonna wake up, my leg's gonna be really, really, really sore. That's also gonna be how a reminder that things are working internally. So we just have to take, inspired action, have faith, and keep showing up, tiny little step. So it's the same thing. Clarity built through action, not overthinking. Overthinking is a trap. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but it's a pointless activity because it doesn't lead you anywhere and you spend a lot of energy. So that's what I wanted to say, my love. You are intuitive, okay? Sometimes you just need to practice more, connect with yourself, and you need to be quiet so you can hear her. Intuition is like a muse, just like the creativity muse. It often requires, just quietness, stillness, so it can strike and so you can start being receptive to when it comes and visit you. So you are intuitive. You just have to build that muscle, build the proper, like a plant, like the proper soil, which is give it time and also quietness and stillness and connecting with the signs. And again, remember, fear is loud, but truth is persistent, okay? And with practice, your inner voice is going to become your greatest guide. So I absolutely think this is like one of our greatest tool in life. If that is something that you find that you still need help with, this is where you can also book a intuitive session with me. We dive deep into the session, and I think this is a great way to help you start understanding yourself on a deeper level. In the session, we read your energy. There's so much information for you in your field. It's absolutely insane. And then we get so much downloads, intuitive hits from your higher self, from your own guides, your own spirit. That's what is so beautiful. So you start building that connection, right? And then lastly, I love going into the Akashic Records. That way, I can really see you on the soul level. And it's absolutely beautiful, my love. It's such a beautiful practice. The more you connect with your intuitive, with your inner self, it's just life becomes so much better. So on that note, thank you so much for checking in and don't forget to listen to another episode and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.